Denis Brown, an artist working with Western traditions of calligraphy. Normally I work from my studio here in Ireland, but in 2013 I spent some months working in Beijing, China, making some of the biggest works I've made to date.
Beijing, just like I pictured it. Skyscrapers and everything. But without Chinese language, I felt like a green feckin' onion. Let's put the frustration into a groove.
It's a bit like filming wildlife. I don't want to disturb my subject by trying to get too close. Timber is on the table.
So you never did this before?
Yes.
Yeah, the first time.
Especially the stroke like this.
Yeah, more splash.
More splash, yes.
Yeah.
Because much modern calligraphers will do that.
Yeah.
But I never did it before.
Yeah. But
you inspired me.
Okay, thank you. But at lunchtime you said you don't like the modern
I think
calligraphy.
the feeling is very good. I think
It's good. I think if you can combine a modern,
especially for the bigger one. Big characters.
if you can combine a classical
Yes.
appreciation of the characters
Yes.
with a spontaneous gesture, I think you can have the energy of all of calligraphy.
The gestural energy I put in the pen strokes is recorded in the ink. I mix the paint on the surface, initially obscuring lines of calligraphy, but then wiping it so they're not completely gone, but are pushed back enough so that following layers of writing will appear clearly in front of this. Back home in Ireland, my work continues for the Beijing Commission. The second phase of works will feature enlarged floral imagery behind layers of writing engraved on glass. I've been sourcing a range of suitable flowers that are in season here. Emily had been keen for me to use peonies, auspicious flowers in Chinese culture. However, they were out of season in Europe, and it was thus not possible to source good specimens. But I found many kinds of chrysanthemum, also auspicious for the Chinese.
Let's try this one.
After photographing the sheets of writing, I could digitally remove the background. I could then copy and paste to make new layers and manipulate them against each other. And I can incorporate my scans, in this case of a feather. This was my process to make preview images for Emily, the architects, and the hotel client to approve. And once approved, this would also be my process to make the artwork for original prints, to lie behind engraved textures of original handwriting. With Mr. Song's job done, mine can continue. There's still a lot of finishing to be done.
오빠 财神到，财神到，오빠 财神到，财神到，오빠 财神到。
The strokes are slower at their beginning and thus a bit thicker there, and they thin out as I accelerate. Adding a second touch from the opposite direction to the ends of the strokes leads to an informal entasis, that is, a thinning of strokes towards the middle, as seen in classical Roman capitals, for example. But all at once it dawned on me that this was the real point, the contrapuntal theme. Just this, not text, but texture, Not the dream, but topsy-turvical coincidence. Not flimsy nonsense, but a web of sense. And so my work continues 7 days a week. The only days I haven't worked on this trip to China have been the few I spent sick in bed. I'm down in fitness and in spirits, which along with freezing work conditions may have contributed to my illness. Only by working fast and for long hours could I meet my deadline and make it home for Christmas. If I failed, the Beijing Rosewood could become my Hotel California. I could check out any time I like, but I could never leave. With a wall of works behind me, I race on, still just hoping I can finish in time to take my flight on December 23rd and be home for Christmas.